and then scroll up. And of course, guys, that was fun. Okay, now I guess we have to donate too. I see what you mean. I feel a pit in my stomach. It's a bit of a drag, isn't it? Hi.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I'm asking a question for my cousin. It's her first con right in front of you, and she wanted to know, with so many people from Supernatural going over to The Boys, do you have any thoughts about maybe if you might, and what kind of character you might want to play?
Well, I did talk to Eric Kripke about this a little bit, and I would love to be on The Boys. My son, actually, I sent Eric a message recently. I was like, Eric, I know we talked about this before, but it's important now. Because my son only cares about The Boys, and he thinks I'm a loser if I'm not on it. I can't have him knowing that. But I think, how many, just by show of hands, how many of you have watched The Boys? So pretty much everybody. What I would love to do, like some of the stuff that I've seen on The Boys, I feel like, oh, you know, I like it, like it's cool, but I feel like you could go a little further. So I'd like to take as like the baseline to try to exceed is what Rob did on the show. Rob was like, hey, I got The Boys. I was like, oh, awesome, what are you doing? He was like, well. I said, Eric, you're like, you really are, you are playing out this God complex, aren't you? He wrote God as the writer of Supernatural, right? He did that. And now he's taking an actor from Supernatural, one that he presumably gave a career to, and he's destroying it. Hey Rob, we're not going to make you read the sides here because we know you're acting, but I just have a question for you. Do you shave your ass crack? I could not believe it. Can I ask you guys a question? When you see Rob up on stage, are you able to think about anything else? Thank you for that question. That's fun. Hi.
Hello, my name is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
As a man in the industry, does it make you feel any kind of way to know that you only get to keep your chest hair if your character is villain coded? And as an aside to that, if you're a good guy and you're shirtless, obviously they shave or wax the whole thing. But if you only have buttons undone, do they do the whole thing or just like the tip?
That honestly may have been the best question I've ever received up here. Can you read it again?
Okay. As a man in the industry, does it make you feel any kind of way to...
See, right there. So what you've done is such a brilliant setup because it makes us think that you're talking about gender identity and politics, right? Our minds go to something about representation, right? Go on.
Does it make you feel any kind of way to know that you only get to keep your chest hair? And as an aside, when you're a shirtless good guy, obviously they shave or wax everything. But if you're only unbuttoned, do they still do the whole thing, or is it only the tit window?
And not only that, he finished poetically with a tip right there. A tip, you know, that's so good.
I took about a year to write that.
Of course you did. It's a work of art. I feel like, unfortunately, your question, because it took so long to write, is a bit dated. I think we might be moving out of the window when it's only bad guys that have hairy chests. I would love to see some stats on this, by the way. It'd be a fascinating thing. Maybe for the next couple of years, working on that. I think that, here's what I think. A lot of people don't realize this, but actors, they can be a little bit vain. No, it's true. Believe it or not. So I think that there's like, I think we think that we look like a little bit more defined, or can look more defined if we shave off the hair.
That's the Ron Jeremy effect.
That's. Did you prepare that as well? Were you planning that?
No.
That was just as spontaneous. Unbelievable. We need you on the tour. Now I'm never. Also, as I get, I'm now old, right? So I feel like, I can't do the like baby skin, like shaved chest thing anymore. It would just look creepy, right? It would look like, oh no, what happened? Have you been doing radiation treatment recently? Are you okay? So I think I'm now in the phase of life where I'm embracing that hair. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. But when I was Castiel washing his clothes in the laundromat, I waxed my chest. It was awful. Does anyone know how terrible of an experience that is? Why did so many women just nod their heads? Are you all shaving your chests as well? Do women naturally also have hairy chests? And I just didn't know it. What? Not chests. Go on. Okay.
Like obviously when you had your shirt off entirely as Castiel, you obviously did the whole chest. But what about when you just just unbutton them?
Right, I'm sorry, I didn't answer the full question.
You forgot about the tip window.
Here's the thing, like one of the problems as a man, and some of you may not know this, but so you shave here, right? And the hair goes down, your facial hair goes down to here. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But then the chest hair comes up here. And sometimes it's like, you don't really know where one begins and the other ends, right? So you gotta make some game day decisions, like, where am I gonna shave to? And I think that I have given myself license at times to kind of be a little bit liberal about that line. You kind of shave. Sir, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you go down a little bit, like you take some liberties below the shirt collar a little bit. Because, and sometimes the look you want is like the little bouquet coming up. But sometimes you want to button it up a little bit. And I don't know about you, I'm not a big, I'm not Sebastian Roche. I don't walk around with my shirt only buttoned to the second button. But if I did, I think at a certain point you can't just keep doing that. You got to figure out where the line is. You get it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that was a valuable use of everybody's time. Hi.
Hello, my name's Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
I'm just curious if you had a worst audition and what did you learn from
A worst audition?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I had so many bad auditions that it's hard for one to stand out. I guess the one that comes up for me most was my Anakin Skywalker audition on Skywalker Ranch, which I totally blew. I think if I had done a good job in that audition, I probably would have been Anakin Skywalker, the young Darth Vader. It was down to me and a couple of other guys at that point. I think the worst audition I ever had, where it was like I was in a puddle of sweat at the end of it, was shortly after I moved to Los Angeles. It was for a Dick Wolf pilot. And Dick Wolf was this producer who's had many successful shows. And the audition, I had just got, like, fresh off the boat, just got in LA. I got this audition for a character who was a White House intern. And I had just been a White House intern. It was kind of a match made in heaven. And I had taken this one, like, I really didn't know what I was doing at all, but I had taken an acting class when I was in DC. And they said it's a good idea to do some business. It's called business in acting with your hands. Like, you know, you see actors like doing a scene and washing the dishes or, you know, knitting while they're talking or something like that. And there's some, like, if you keep your hands moving and you're doing some business with your hands, it can make everything flow more naturally. And I was like, well, this would be a great opportunity to do that. So I went in and I did the audition for the casting director, and the casting director was like, that's great, I'd love you to come back in for the producers. We're getting close to casting this part. It's like the final stage. So I went into the audition, and in the scene, this White House intern is coming home from the White House and you know, settling into his apartment and talking to his girlfriend. And I was like, you know what would be cool business is like, I come in my like suit, and then I'm like, you know, I'm taking it off and getting comfortable. And I didn't quite know the lines perfectly, but I got this idea for the business, and I thought, well, that's okay, I'll get close enough to the lines. So we started the audition, and I'm sort of searching for the words with these like long pauses, but I'm muddling through it, but I'm taking off my jacket. And then I start unbuttoning my button-up shirt, and I have, don't worry, I shaved the whole thing at that point. So, no, but I actually had a t-shirt on underneath. So this wasn't like a strip show, but I was just like, you know, gonna do the like business of like taking off my button-up shirt. And I got my jacket off, and I set it over a chair, and it's and fell on the ground, and then I picked it up again and set it down. And now I'm like really having a hard time with the words, but I'm muddling through still. And then I start unbuttoning my shirt, and I'm getting nervous because it's like taking a long time. But it wasn't like how I envisioned this unfolding, but I'm still, and now I had like grabbed the sides, which is the audition material, and set them down on the chair so I can sort of like read as I do my unbuttoning. And then we're getting like, I realized like, oh, we're getting close to the end of this, but I need to be like sitting down and relaxed at the scene for this whole thing to make sense. So I've got to get undressed more quickly, but like we're moving through the fucking scene now, and I get nervous, so I get the shirt off, and then I'm like, you know, and this button, like, that's fucking hard. And so I was like, forget it. I'm not even gonna do the sleeve buttons at all. And so I just took off my shirt. And it got stuck. And I put it on. Get my fucking hands out of the sleeve. So I ended the audition like this. And you can see this huge sweat stain under both arms. I was just like mortified there. And Dick Wolf was looking at me, looking at the casting director like, that's...
Jensen doing that in Supernatural.
Yeah, it sucked. I'm glad you asked that question though. Thank you. Hi,
I'm Melissa.
I'm Melissa.
So last time I saw you was in San Francisco earlier this year.
It's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
You haven't aged a day.
That's funny because actually my birthday was last Monday.
You have aged a day.
So last time I asked you what book you would recommend, and you told me to read the Bible.
Sorry about that.
So I did.
What? Nobody reads that thing. Did you really?
I did.
Cover to cover? No.
Forever, but yes.
Wow, what do you think? The convert?
Not what I'm used to.
What was your favorite part?
The ending when it finished. So I was hoping to get another book recommendation.
So you want something a little longer. War and Peace is not long enough. War and Peace is a real page turner. Shogun is substantial. It's a good idea. But I think that the Odyssey is good, also good. But the problem with these suggestions is I don't think they're dense enough for her.
The Art of War.
The Art of War is dense, but not long enough. You see the problem here? How about this? Annals of the Former World by John McPhee. I think you're going to love it. It's about geology. It's 700 pages long. I really do love this book, so I'm not steering you wrong.
I have
But
one of your books, so
what's that?
I have one of your books sitting on my shelf.
So this one is going to be good. You will find that about 30% of the words you don't know. But just have a dictionary next to you, and you should be able to plow through that in a couple of years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
It's only by happenstance that I stroked your ego before I asked a question, but I just wanted to say that even though you're not a traditional comedian, I've always thought you should do stand-up, and I've seen your humor evolve throughout the years, and you do a show that's stand-up adjacent, and I was just wondering, what is the origin of your humor, and how do you think it's evolved over time?
Or devolved.
So humor subjective, so.
I was, well, thank you, by the way. That's a question masquerading as a compliment, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Take note, everyone. That's the way to do it. Unless you're going to work for a year on a chest hair masterpiece, you know. When I was a kid, when I was a child, I was a bit of a misfit. I was moving around from school to school and didn't really have a lot of friends and didn't really know how to fit in. And at some point, I discovered that I could ingratiate myself to these new groups of people with self-deprecating humor. And so I just started deploying it, I think, as a tool. And then like when I was halfway through high school, I noticed that my self-deprecating humor was starting to make me feel bad about myself. And I was like, making jokes about being dumb or uncoordinated or whatever it was. And I was getting laughs, but I was also starting to really erode my self-confidence. So I made a conscious decision to stop with the self-deprecating humor because I was causing myself some psychological harm. And then, I don't know. Seems like humor is something that we, I don't know, I like connecting with people over humor. Maybe it's just a way to connect.
It's a masshole thing.
It's a masshole thing. Yeah, we're massholes. Yeah. When life is awful enough, you have to find a joke. Maybe that's it, right? Because life in Massachusetts sucks. Wait, who's the masshole? Yeah. Where are you from? West? West? All right. Where do you live now?
Florida now.
Florida. See, Massachusetts sucks. My taxi driver over here was like from Boston. We were talking. She was like, "Yeah, I live here now." And I was like, "You miss it?" She was like, "Nah, I don't miss that fucking shithole." My fucking brother still lives there. I don't know why. I tell him come to Florida, but he doesn't. Douchebag. Thank you. Hi.
I'm Emerson.
Hey,
I was
Emerson.
wondering, when people ask about filming Supernatural, what memory comes to your mind first?
As you asked that question, I'll just answer it in a moment, but what came to mind was pulling up onto the lot in the morning. I would drive myself to work. In the last 7 years I was on the show, I lived in Washington State and commuted across the border, so it was a long drive. It was like an hour drive to work or something like that. And pulling up to work and the trailers there, you'd have the hair and makeup trailer on one side and then the wardrobe trailer and then Jared and Jensen's enormous trailers and then my little, basically closet on wheels. And it always, like, pulling into work, I just had like a warm feeling. It was like a nice, it was a nice feeling pulling up at work. It wasn't like, oh God, here goes another day at work. There was something nice about arriving at work in the morning. And that was, I think, true for a lot of us, cast and crew that worked on the show. I mean, it was hard and it was long hours and it was long years and there were definitely rough stretches. But in general, I think we all showed up and gave it our best and used humor. Like we spent a lot of time on set laughing our way through the day, and that all aggregated to it just feeling like a good place to be. So there's a memory for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
So my friends and I have been doing this survey with other people at the convention.
Is it about chest hair? Oh, weird.
So we've been asking what dog breed we believe you, Jensen, and Jared are. Not your character, but you yourself. So I'll just tell you the results after your answer, but what dog breed would you consider a breed?
I guess I'm like a golden doodle. Jared is I was going to say Doberman Great Dane mix. And Jensen is kind of the obvious one. He's a Chihuahua.
Yours is pretty much spot on. And we've had a tie between Border Collie and hold on.
No, I'm not a border. I'm not that quick.
A miniature pinscher.
A miniature what? What's a pincher? No!
Off your hands.
You're wrong. But also golden doodle?
Yes, golden doodle is one.
Okay.
Yes.
And then,
Jared was a golden retriever by almost everyone. Yeah. But search and rescue golden retrievers.
what? Oh my God, that shows that you don't know him at all. Okay, go on. And Jensen is what? A German Shepherd?
A poodle.
What? It does not make sense. Who said that? You're part of this? And how, this must have been a stack of rigged survey. I don't buy it at all. What's your logic? Did you present the question like, would you say that Jared is a golden retriever? Or...
We just asked what dog breed would you give each person?
Mm-hmm. And that, how big is your sampling? Just like the three of you? 15 to 20. I think you need to broaden your, I think, come back when you've asked every single person here.
So your panel was just early, so we were trying to get more numbers.
Yeah, that's okay, but yeah, I'm not super happy with the methodology here. You know, this is the problem with polling these days. What's happening? Are you beckoning someone?
I am, but it's not important. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Hi, I'm Bree.
Hi, Bree.
I'm from here.
Hi.
I don't have a probing invasive question like the others before me.
Ah, that's an interesting twist. Throw the other ones under the bus.
I love you guys. We should all be friends. Since I had no idea what I was putting my name into the bag for, it was all okay. My question is...
So a bag just showed up and you were like, I guess I'll put my name in this bag?
Yes!
Was it a bag, an actual bag?
It was like a brown plastic bag with like pictures of Jensen and Jared's face. And I'm sure there were words, but I couldn't read it at the time.
Because all you saw was poodle, golden retriever.
It was nice. I
Okay.
didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to skip it because I skipped it last time.
Okay.
My
So,
question is-
oh, you do have a question. All right.
Spray tan, butt naked on the roof, or tanning bed?
Well, what's that?
Because you're extra pretty.
I wrote a poem in my book of poetry about going to a tanning salon, and it's actually it's the title of the book. Some Things I Can't Tell You is the title of Some Things I Still Can't Tell You is the title of that poem. And then I discovered, this is like a fast track to death by cancer. So now I'm just naked on the roof. I've never spray tan before. That sounds so weird to me, but I think that it's probably the best option available in terms of, long-term outcomes. Yeah. But you're welcome. Why did you ask me that question? It's really like dovetails nicely with the chest hair business. I like it.
That was the only reason I asked is because you look sun-kissed and awesome.
Whoa. Thank you very much. That also works, folks. You can do a compliment at the end of the question. Hi.
Hi, Misha. My name is Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
So my question is, what have been your favorite moments in your acting career? This could be like a fan interaction or like on like set and stuff. So.
I don't know an answer to that question. I think that it's been really cool to be able to. There are a lot of aspects of becoming a celebrity that are kind of annoying, and don't stroke my ego in the way that would be gratifying for me. But there have been aspects of getting a big platform that have been really unbelievably cool. I took my best friend from junior high school to meet with President Zelensky this past year, and we were on a train from Poland into Kyiv, and looking at each other like, how the hell did we wind up here? Isn't this amazing? And that's an incredible offshoot of having been on a deer in the headlights in an audition when I was asked to be an angel. It's like this incredible outpicturing of that. So there are things like that that have been real, actual pinch me moments. I can't believe that this is actually happening. And then there are moments that under. Hello. There have been moments creatively fulfilling. I did this show more recently, Gotham Nights, and I got to play Hockey Dent and his alter ego in this like long scene where I was playing both characters in the scene, and it was so hard. It fried my brain, but it was really gratifying to do as well. Like it was just like I'm just having so much fun doing this. I had the same experience. I just went in last week to record another few scenes in the Bridgewater universe, which is the podcast that I did a couple years ago, and I left thinking like, they didn't pay me. They asked me to come in and do it as a favor, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. But I was like, why did I agree to do this thing? I got so much shit going on. I don't have time for this. And then I got in the booth, and I was like, that's so fun. Can we do more? And they're like, no, man, that's all we have. And I was like, oh. But there are times when it just feels fun and gratifying, and I could probably go on. There are also been a lot of moments when it's felt like, oh, I'm here. You know, Jared and Jensen and I really got to know each other well. We had a lot of fun on set for many years, and it was nice to be at work with a couple of guys who felt like real friends, and we went through a lot of things together over that span of those years. And it was nice to really know people that you're working with and feel like, you know, you hear this expression, SPN family, all the time, but it really did and does feel like a family, and this whole thing feels like an extended, highly dysfunctional family. Thanks. Hello. Are you covering your son's ears? So if you have to cover your son's ears, maybe that's a sign that what you're asking is not appropriate.
I was just curious. My name is
Hi.
I was curious if there's anything new you learned from the Pizza Man recently.
Did you, for the love of Pete, would you cover your son's ears?
From the Pizza Man. So there's this, you don't know what that's referencing?
No,
yeah, yes, and we do.
We actually watched it.
Rob and I host a podcast called Supernatural Then and Now, where we rewatch every episode, and we've gotten to that episode.
Yeah, we watched that episode. It's very funny.
When was that? Was that recently that you watched that? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was towards the beginning of season 6, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
Is
season
it
5.
Is it like torture for you when you have to sit down and watch an episode of Supernatural now?
Yes.
No.
No.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
The bummer is watching our friends act.
Yeah, I bet.
That's just kind of weird. It's like we're watching our friends. You know what I mean? Like it was like Jensen came over the other night, and like I just finished watching an episode. That was kind of weird. You know what I mean?
That is weird. Like, get out of my house, Sam.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. But you were only on the show for like, what, 14?
Wait, which one is Jensen? Is he the tone?
Well, he saw Jared, who was Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
Marbles in his mouth, bad hairpiece.
right. So the Pizza Man, you sit down, you're watching a porno, and you're trying to figure it out. You're like, what's up with the Pizza
Can you
Man?
please cover your son's ears?
And so she wanted to, basically she's asking.
If the babysitter, wait, if the pizza, what is it? What's the line?
Yeah.
If a man truly loves a babysitter, what?
If the pizza man truly loves the babysitter, then why does he keep slapping her rear?
Fair question.
It's funny stuff.
What's amazing is that she knew it verbatim.
And read it off her own arm. It's tattooed. Well, I guess the question still stands. Have you, even though theoretically this question makes no sense, you haven't revisited the Pizza Man. But the question is, have you learned anything else new from the Pizza Man?
I think she's asking, what porn am I watching?
Right.
And what am I gleaning from it?
Or she's asking, from where do you order your pizza? and what kind of delivery service do they offer?
Or, if I may,
Yeah.
is your Pizza Man, maybe his Pizza Man is like well-read,
Right.
and he teaches him things every day. She doesn't-
Yeah.
The wise old Pizza Man at the door.
That's right, yeah. What other little nuggets do you have for me today?
He's just heading over a pizza
Man.
wisdom.
Ron.
Yeah.
My pizza man's name is Ron.
And Ron.
Ron Jeremy.
Wise
Well,
old
Ron Jeremy.
Mr. Jerry. I'll let you feel this one. Let's see it.
I think she's gotten her answer. We certainly built it.
All we've done is create 3 more questions. Although true philosophers do answer questions with questions.
That's right.
We
We're basically using the Socratic method here.
We made you think, and I think you've all learned a little bit today.
Say, hey, uncover the kids' ears, I say.
I say, I think let the kid be all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Learn.
All of our souls and our minds. And let's over all of our ears.
What is your son's name?
Lucas.
Lucas. What do you like to order on your pizza?
I'll eat lover.